So go ahead and save this and give it a launch and see what we get. I think it's going to work out good. And here's the in-flight part of the flight engineer. I like this display of information. One thing I particularly like is altitude true. Whoops. Altitude true. It shows the actual true altitude of the ship, not just its height above sea level. That is important when it comes to landing. And let's see. The grand total of delta V for this ship is 3,672 meters per second. And that is for the ship itself. I don't believe that includes the booster stages. The fuel, I know, does not include the booster stages. And our thrust-to-weight ratio, 2.6. Very good. Ship's mass, 188 tons. Launch. So, let's go ahead and turn on the SAS and our precision controls. And it looks like Jebediah Kerman is going to be our test pilot for this thing. So, let's jump up the throttle and take this thing to the moon. And as I expected, it pretty much jumps off the pad. Velocity is climbing fast. Close to burnout. Boosters are gone. And we are going really good here. We're losing a little bit of velocity to begin with, but we're picking it back up. So we're doing good. This thing should have ample fuel for getting to the moon. And you can watch the ship's mass dropping as the thing burns fuel too. Okay, let's go ahead and start thinking about a gravity turn. And this one has thrusters. Looking good. Looking good. Jebediah seems to be thrilled. I can't blame him. The flight's going very nicely. Our apoapsis is up to 47 kilometers and climbing. I'm going to cut this thing off at 70. And it's just about there. Engine cutoff. With plenty of fuel left. This is good. Alright, let's go ahead and get pitched over. And assume the position for an orbit. Time to apoapsis 50 seconds or thereabouts. Almost ready. Right there. Hold that position. And let us begin to burn. Bring up the periapsis. RCS, wasting that. We are, get rid of that. Very good. Periapsis is almost positive. Pitch down just a little more. Oops, I cut off too soon. I was looking at the wrong number. Good, there we go. We have an orbit. And now, all we have to do is wait for moonrise. So, let us time warp to moonrise. And by the way, I will put a link in the description for the forum thread for this flight engineer mod. It's very useful, I think. Purely informational in nature and very, very invaluable both for ship construction and in flight. By the way, it's taken me quite a while, but I do believe that this purplish looking star is Minmus. Obviously, there's no way to really confirm that for certain, but I do believe it is. And when it rises, moonrise isn't. I am not under acceleration, thank you very much. But when it rises, moonrise is not very far behind, generally speaking. Of course, I could be full of hot air, too. There's moonrise. All right. Let's get aligned for the burn and go for it. All right. I am going to go ahead and use this to hold prograde. And let's go. Bring the apoapsis up to 12.5 million meters, and that should be just about right. And you notice here, as ship's mass is reduced from burning fuel, the thrust-to-weight ratio gradually goes up. All right, looking good. Plenty of fuel remaining. I'm anticipating still having this stage available when we get to the moon. All right. Start backing off the throttle. Okay, cut engine. Let's go ahead and close that up for the moment and have a look outside on the map view. and I was looking at time to apoapsis instead of apoapsis height. Gee. Arg. Well, at least it wasn't the kind of thing that would cause an overshoot. Easily correctable. There. Now we have a 12,500 kilometer apoapsis, and we have a moon encounter. And Kerbal apoapsis right at the same place. How about that? All right. Let us warp ahead. Excuse me. We are not under it. Okay. Turn smartass off. Maybe that'll... There we go. All right. Let's warp ahead to our moon encounter and see if we can't actually have a successful landing. Okay. Looking good. All right. Let's go back to real view. Turn retrograde. Show our information. And yes, we have almost 2 full tanks of fuel. So that's good. This ship will also be good for Minmus missions, apparently. All right, let's fix the apoapsis height. Needs to be a positive number, somewhere about, say, 50 kilometers. Yeah, okay. Well, I've gone and given us a negative periapsis. How about that? All right, how about this? We're over a daylight side of the moon, so let's just go ahead, get that out of the way, and cancel out our horizontal velocity right here and go for a straight on descent. Okay, horizontal velocity 1.6 meters per second. It'll probably need some corrections, but we are on a descent, and we haven't even touched our descent stage yet. That's good. Right, now At this point, the most important number is this one right here, true altitude. Let's go ahead and warp ahead some of this descent. In fact, just to keep from overshooting because of time warp mismanagement, I'm just going to cut to where we're at a lower altitude and ready to start braking. All right, I was just watching our descent here, passing through 170 kilometers altitude, and I was looking at the fuel tank here. Our secondary stage here still has 163 liters of fuel in it, which means I'm thinking that this vehicle might just possibly be a good interplanetary launch vehicle, at least with a single crew pod, just given a little bit of extra boost. I am going to have to come up with one that will be good for the 3 crew pod, because there are no doubt going to be times when we'll need 3 crew, like for rescue missions, to have capacity to carry more than 1 crewman. All right, and now we're passing through 150,000 meters, and I think we get down to about 100,000. I'm going to burn up the fuel remaining in that stage and then jettison it. Actually, I might wait to about 60 or 70,000 for that. And that way we don't have to engage the lander engines until 30 or 40,000. Okay, passing through 70,000 and approaching very high velocity, over 400, almost closing on 500 meters a second here. So let's fire up this engine, burn off some of that velocity, and then ditch that stage. Cut the throttle, stage. And apply a little throttle to separate from that thing.